Hello again. Well, it's Tuesday the 11th while I'm doing this one. I'm actually going to post this one on Wednesday the 12th of May. Um, so happy Wednesday. And we're going to do the Kingfish. So I wanted to do another fish one and kind of experimenting with the angry mouth. And somebody asked me a question, so I'll go through this real quick. Of how many different styles of logos do I have? So if you look, I've got like, this is a side, these are garbage. That's sort of straightforward. That's a 3/4 straightforward. This negative space, real teams. So like that. So there's probably side is probably the one I do a lot of. Sort of an Art Deco one, negative space, things like that. So there's lots of different styles I do, probably 5 or 6 different styles that I use. I don't have a pattern of how I do it. It's just when I come down to doing a logo, I decide. It used to be I'd pick colors and then I would come up with a logo. Now it's more I pick what am I trying to do, and then I do the colors, and then it's like, well, what style am I going to try to do this in? So sometimes I'll start with a side and end up with a 3/4, or I'll do a lot of negative space work and or change it into something else. The negative space ones I try not to do as much because they tend to be a pain because it's very abstract, and half the time it's like complete experimentation when I'm doing it to try to get what I want. So, and your side views here tend to be your more common on most logos, as I've seen on most teams. And like I said, I've done a lot of research when I'm doing logos. Like again, sometimes I'm straight copying something, sometimes I'm taking inspiration from something, and other times I'm just straight creating. So, anyways, I do a lot of research so I can get a general idea of things that I can do with logos, and then it helps me visualize. When I look at a logo, I have the ability to break it down by shapes, and it's like, how would I have to do that? How would I do that? How would I do that? And be honest, this is my process, and it helps me create some ideas, or even just straight take something I've seen and take what looks like a really complicated logo and break it down into more manageable shapes. All right, so enough of my chitter chatter. Let's get into the Kingfish. So color wise, you need a kind of a lighter orange, darker orange, a dark blue, not quite navy. So if you see the jersey, it's not navy, but it's darker blue. And this helps make things pop a little bit without being too dark. A white, and then we go to red, and I'm doing red on the left side, so it's still got a little bit of pop to it, but I took the saturation down a shade on it. Didn't want the red to be too overpowering. And I use black. I think I've got one item that's black. I think it's the eye. There might be more than one, but it's not a prevalent color. But you usually have to have it in there because at some point you're going to use it. And I'm going to show you real quick. Let's look at the jerseys. That's when I still did jerseys. 12, and I just shrunk down and used the nice old English font for the Kingfish, and then I used 3, and that bright orange. It almost looks yellowish because of the outline with the blue on the fish. Then you can still put that on the same colored on the jersey, and I think that looks really nice. This really looks real sharp in gameplay. Dark colors tend to look really nice, but then if you get a good combination, they tend to do pretty well. All right, let's get into this 31 layer gem. This is a more recent one too. I think that you did this one in, I think created this near the end of April. All right, so we start off with shield 6. You can see there's outline above it. So the reason I did this is if I put this, it gets distorted from the outline. That's the way I originally had it done, and I didn't want it. I wanted to look a little sharper, so I dropped it underneath. So it's in the blue. -8, -111, 262 rotation, 21 scale. Then I do the outline in the blue, and I think I do it 3 times to get that nice thick but not too thick layer. And on this one, I actually did the outline first, and then did all the shapes inside it so I could kind of see how it would look out, so I could do certain things a little differently. Before I get into this, the only thing I would probably change on this now looking back is if you look where the ridge on the back, I would probably put an arc there in blue just to kind of give it a little bit more definition from the rest of the fish body. But other than that, I really do like the way this one kind of popped out. All right, so start off half circle, bend 1 in red, -79, 144, 9 rotation, 36 scale. And then on top of that, I do the circle, half circle in orange, the light orange, -65, 24, 270 rotation, 55 scale. And then ellipse 1 for a big chunk of the face. Light orange, 1357, 14 rotation, 45 scale. Swish 10 for the tail. -3, -74, 203 rotation, 53 scale. Curved chevron for the fins. In red, 117, -117, 89 rotation, 34 scale. And then bend 1 for the body there, for the tail. In light orange, -4, -62, 315 rotation, 18 scale. Ellipse 1 for the lip. 62, -5, 348 rotation, 30 scale. Then teardrop for the mouth in dark blue. 49, 113, 105 rotation, 113 scale. Then copy it, and in white, 47, 113, 103 rotation, 9 scale. There's your mouth. And then I do swish 1, kind of helps with angry eyes. In blue, 65, 72, 32 rotation, 27 scale. And then we're doing the eye, half circle in blue, 64, 53, 228, 14. Copy in white, 68, 55, 228 rotation, 10 scale. Copy in blue, 74, 57, 234, 6 scale. And if you watch the warthogs I talked about, and the Dobermans, how I did it so that I didn't have to use a lot of layers on the eyes. And this is one where I did use a lot of layers on the eyes because I had the room for it. So it's 2 completely different effects here. On this one, it needed to be with these layers to have the dark on the outside of the outline, and then the white of the eye, and then the color on the eye. Okay? All right. And now we're doing left parentheses, in font 2, blue. 92, 9, 217 rotation, 13 scale. And then swish 10 here for the fin, or the arm, whichever way you want to call it. This, it looks like he's got a muscular arm. In the orange, light orange, -27, 127, -14, 314 rotation, 50 scale. Then do the crown in light orange, 109, 149, 36 rotation, 43 on the scale. And then do the arc so that the crown doesn't look like it's attached to the head. Light in the blue, 66, 102, 218 rotation, 29 scale. And then swish 10 for a little bit of styling. In the dark orange, -51, -61, 215 rotation, 36 scale. And then I do right parentheses, font 2. If I want to save some shapes, I could probably do both of these as doing the right and left parentheses and then just turning it, but I had room when I was doing this, so I didn't feel the need to do that. -94, -19, 107 rotation, 14 scale. Copy it, flip, -94, 41 rotations, 306 rotation, and 14 scale. Then for up here near the mouth, or the kind of stylize the head a little bit in font 2 also. -13, 62, 346 rotation, 12 scale, and then copy, and then dark orange, -94, -1, 224 rotation, 14 scale, just for a little more style there. And then on the edge of the mouth, and this one's in font 16, so they changed the font for this parentheses. And this is a good one for mouths and sometimes for eyebrows, especially if you want to try to do anger or excitement or even surprise. It works really well. So that one's at 12, 33, 223 rotation, 9 scale. Quarter ring to do the rest of the shaping of the head in blue, 3, 11, 247 rotation, 23 scale. And then shield 6, which is good for fins, in blue, 4, -34, 280 rotation, 10 scale. And then I did this one. I don't know what to call it. I always call it the large little L. And I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. Okay. Text, font 16. It gives them that just that little bit of curve, just a tiny bit. And then I put it at bend, and bend's at 18, and that's how I could get it to match the curve on the bend 1 on the red. Swish 10 for a little more style in dark orange, -61, 105, 319 rotation, 37 scale. Triangle 4 to kind of do the gritting of the teeth in blue, 45, 12, 103 rotation, 11 scale. Then I did period in font 1, but I did bend, and bend is at 8, just so it kind of matches the way the crown goes, because it's not straight in line. And do those in red, 103, 137, 39 rotation, 4 scale. And that's it, 31 layers. It took me about 50 minutes or so to do this one. Like the way it looks great on the jersey. It's that nice, it's got a nice angry look to it. Like I said, logos need to be angry. They need to look like they're going to tear your head off, because remember, war, the sports are a metaphor for a war. All right, hope you like it. You can modify this any way you want. You can change the colors around, and it would work with, you could do yellow, you could change the outline to, do the yellow and outline in black. You could do lighter colors. There's just a lot you could do with this, and it would work pretty well depending on what your color palette tastes tend to be. All right, so kind of a shorter video, and it's like how I did Kingfish in font 12, and I just shrunk the fish up a little bit, had to tweak it as a shade. And then for the, I like the way the home jersey is. That really pops nicely, and the K looks really good on it too. So big fan of that one. All right, so thank you very much. Please like and subscribe. The next one is going to be, I don't really have a style for it. I've done it once before with gunslingers, where I guess you can just call it a portrait. I guess that's what we'll just call it. We'll call it portrait. I did Paradise. Another one, it's very different from other stuff that I've done, but it looks really, really cool, and that's the next one up. So thank you very much.